Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Piledriver podcast, episode 73. I am your host, the best in the world. Beside me is my boy, the big dog, Dean. How are you, sir?
Good, man. Rolling off another Browns win.
Oh, yeah. It was a beautiful win today.
Back weekends of some great wrestling, which we're going to talk about. We have a special guest today as well. I'm excited for this episode. The energy is great. The energy is high.
Oh my God, we got so much to talk about with our guest. Like we're gonna go over the whole card with him this week. And what's even crazier is not only do we have a guest this week, we have a guest next week on the show too. Next week, we're gonna try to link up. I'm gonna try. I can't guarantee it, but he already said he was gonna come on. We're gonna try to link up with our boy Powerbomb Jitsu. He's gonna come on. Our boy Dom's gonna come on, and we're gonna recap this week's event before we get into Neo Pro. But let's talk about Neo Pro real quick. We got a couple things we want to touch on before we bring our guest in. Number one, Crown Jewel was over the weekend. Shouts out to my boy Seth Rollins for him and Drew McIntyre put on a fucking clinic.
Yes, they did.
Great match. Shout out to Logan Paul, the new United States champion, and probably one of my favorite new up-and-coming wrestlers, just because of what he's done in his time. Not only did him and Ricochet do all them cool spots, dude, he kind of saved Rey Mysterio's life.
He did, dude.
Like, I don't know if that flip was off or
he was out of his. He was a little far back than where he was supposed to be on the spot, but he made a move and saved Mysterio from landing on his neck and could possibly be in something bad.
Yeah, it looked like Mysterio was going right for his neck. Like, it looked like he didn't get enough spring off the board. It didn't look like it was all like Logan Paul was in the wrong spot, I think. But kudos, it worked out real well. Logan Paul fucking killed it. Congratulations to the new United States champions.
I love it, man. I mean, you can say what you want about him, but you can't deny the fact that he is probably one of, if not the best celebrity wrestlers to come in and do the thing.
I will agree with that. Another one that I'll give mad praise to, because all I heard about was good things, was Bad Bunny. Yeah. All the WWE wrestlers said Bad Bunny came in and he did the work. And it shows, especially with people like Logan Paul, when they come in and do the work, you can be a good celebrity wrestler. Logan Paul, a YouTube star,
from Westlake, Ohio.
From Westlake, Ohio, is the United States champion of the world. So kudos to Logan Paul. And it was a great match, but we all knew he was going to win. Come on now. It sucks because LA Knight killed it. Promos, the whole, every altercation between them, coming out during Roman's entrance and kind of just walking right past him. Like,
he's on fire, bro.
LA Knight is fire. And it sucks that he had to lose. And I know people are getting upset. My buddy Justin is one of them. My buddy Justin Oriano, he's a big one. He, take it off of Roman, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
we all know it's not going to happen to WrestleMania.
Exactly. It needs to be a moment. It's after this career-defining performance by Roman Reigns in this championship run. It's got to be something phenomenal to take it off of it.
LA Knight had so much to gain from this, win or lose.
Yeah, 100%. He looked great. The Saudi Arabian crowd was chanting LA Knight. You know what I'm saying? Like when he got the elbow and everything. But overall, it was a pretty solid show from my opinion. Back. Kairi Sane coming back, which Triple H has the potential with this, or the opportunity with this, to tell one of the greatest stories, like long-term, of all time.
Yeah.
Because Bayley was the last one to fight Kairi and beat her ass before she left and went to Stardom. So for her to come back and kind of Bayley just be holy, that's potential to be a great story.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not going to get into a bunch of Neo Pro stuff, but we do have some breaking news. As we all know, in the wrestling world, we've said it here on the show plenty of times. Card subject to change. Derek Dillinger is not able to compete at Neo Pro Ascent. So he had to unfortunately pull out of his match with Cowpoke Paul. But as we've seen multiple times in the past, the front office at Neo Pro Wrestling did their job. They did their due diligence. And I, for one, let me tell you, because I know you're not familiar because you were like, you're not, Damian Chambers is the replacement. Okay. When we first started going to OCW, me and Paulie, way back in the day, I saw this man wrestle, and I was like, I had the same kind of feeling that I had with Brian Huff, that I had with Jake Ely, that I had with Ashton Day, that I've like latched on. I was like, holy shit, he's good, and he's good. Like, and I follow him on Facebook. He wrestles all over the place, man. He's good. I'm really excited for him to be there. Like, him and Cowpoke Paul are going to put on a great match. I'm really excited.
I'm pumped for it too. I mean, the more I was not familiar, and I've done some little homework since then, and I can agree he looks great. I'm excited.
Yeah, great replacement. There's really nothing much you could do.
Doing as quickly as possible, always coming through. Never disappointed Neo Pro faithful, man.
110%.
This show is going to be an absolute banger. Yeah. Next Saturday, not this upcoming Saturday, but Saturday the 18th is going down.
100%. Yeah, that's really all the breaking news we have. I just wanted to pop in a little bit. I do have that our guest is here, so give me 1 second and we'll get him right in here. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by our special guest, the one and only Ohio Chief himself, Brandon Xavier.
How you doing, guys?
Great, man. How are you? Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Glad to always be with you guys.
Always good to have you on.
Giant event this weekend.
I can't wait.
One more battle, 2 Ring Kaoz.
I'm hyped.
I'm hyped too, dude.
Like, I don't even know where to start, so I'm just gonna start with the latest thing. Okay, so the very first match announced for this event was Cisco Silver versus Megan Myers. Was the very first match. Just yesterday, another match was announced that has JVM going against the Metal Heart Tony Forge in the other ring at the exact same time as Megan and Cisco.
2 Ring Kaoz, baby.
I'm not done yet. This is what's crazy. I just want to make sure I got it right, because I'm just going to hypothetical here. Let's say that Tony Forge pins JVM. He then has the opportunity to come into the other match, make it a triple threat, and then the winner of that gets a #1 contendership for the Fighting Spirit Championship, correct?
Yes, sir.
I love it.
So, and does it work opposite as well? So Megan pins Cisco, she can jump in this match.
She hops right into the other ring.
Oh my God, this is fucking insane.
And here's the thing, though, like, say JVM gets into the ring with Cisco and Megan, and he punches Megan or he punches Cisco, he's disqualified.
Because it's a separate match.
It's separate matches. You're interfering in somebody else's matches.
Okay, so he can't kind of like pick and choose who he wants in the triple threat, or, kind of pick his opponents kind of deal. That's nice.
Yeah, so I mean, like, because he'll get disqualified. Now, he's not even in the match.
Yeah.
The person then it'll come down. Well, technically, if that did happen that way, JVM wouldn't be disqualified. Well, you know what? I'm that type of guy. Yeah, he would. Just for a fairment of sportsmanship and the kind of guy I am.
So that would mean Tony Forge just automatically gets inserted triple threat match.
It's a triple threat match. Yep.
Okay.
And the other match doesn't stop. So not only do they have to concentrate on what they're doing in the ring, they have to listen for that bell to go off, because once that bell goes off,
you have to be watching your back in case
you have to be watching your back.
Oh my God.
This is going to be absolutely wild.
I don't have enough cameras for this at the same time.
I don't even know if we do, you know what I'm saying? Like, but here's the thing. It's like, I was sitting there and I was looking at the card, and I'm like, yeah, we got the 2 War Games matches. I was like, but what else hasn't been done? What has nobody around here done? And that's why I do this shit, man. Like the 2 Ring Kaoz thing.
I'm like, as I was sitting here writing it, because normally I have to like click back and forth from Facebook and wherever you guys are posted all the matches. I took time and I sat down and wrote the card, so I didn't have to go anywhere, so that we could just have a conversation. And like, as I'm sitting here writing this shit, I'm like, holy fuck, this show is stacked, son.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
So
I'm.
let's talk about JVM and Tony Forge first off, because I just got in with Tony a couple days ago at the flea market. We did a little trick or treating with the kids, and during Tony's interview, we were talking about it, and he was like, "I don't have a match, at One More Battle to Ring Chaos." And I was like, "Hey, you never know. Brandon Xavier just likes to pull shit out of his pocket." And now he is in a match with JVM. Tony Forge is very young. He's still rookie doing this. JVM is a seasoned vet here. The metal heart. This. I mean, I'm a little worried, but I think he's got the metal to take this one.
You know what? I'll give it to Tony. Like, that's a dude. Like, one thing I get on him about is he's been wrestling for the past 5-6 months. He's been training well over a year. But he kept changing his name, and I'm like, dude, I call him like 8 different names, But deep down, like, that dude, he's hungry. He just wants the opportunity and a chance. And when I've had him on the pre-show matches a couple times.
Yes.
And he's a dude who has not once complained when his name wasn't on the card. He hasn't once said anything about, oh, well, will I get to be on the next show? No, the dude just shows up to training, shows up to turmoil.
Does his thing.
Yeah, he's, taking his knocks. So, like, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, how can I make this card just a little bit more? And I was like, I need another match. And of course I called Jeff and I'm like, listen, dude, I was like, I need to add one more match. And he's like, well, how many do we have? And I'm like, he's like, dude, do you really want to do 9? I'm like, you can do 9 when you do 2 of them at the same time. And he was like, what? And I told him the idea. He was like, I like it.
I love it. I read it and I was like, oh, this is great.
Like, now naysayers are going to be like, well, the fans are going to get confused. Listen, if you've been to Hossville, if you've been to any of the Mega Cup matches,
yeah,
there's
no reason to get confused.
I give you confusion, yes.
I mean, it's not like you said, as long as it's understood at the beginning, maybe have your ring announcer say this match and this match are under normal rules, so there's no reason to be confused. I got it immediately. You can't. Cisco and Megan have a match. JVM and Tony have a match. Separate matches, same time. It's an amazing concept, if we're being honest. Because, like you said, what if Tony gets picked? JVM's a big fella. What if he picks Tony up and launches him over the ring into the other match? Like,
now that would be accidental contact.
That's what I'm saying.
Elevation there,
just anything could happen, and it's so nuts.
Yeah.
But also in the other ring, we have the returning Cisco Silver, the returning Megan Myers. Stoked to see both of them. I believe the last time we saw Cisco was the Crown Prince Battle Royal.
Yeah. He's had some appearances at like Absolute Intense Wrestling outside of run, so I'm happy that he's still working and he knows like when his personal life schedule, I can get him in, I get him in, Megan is, she's out in Georgia still, so having her come in every once in a while still, to see how much she's improved while she's been out there.
I know 2 or 3 of my friends that are like, they're not wrestling fans like we are, but they know about Mega and they'll be at the show on Saturday just because Megan's going to be there. They love following her and love watching her wrestle. So that's cool.
I like to bring her home. Megan considers herself one of my children's. So it's like, I like to bring her home so she can get some family time with dad and stuff, and be with the family. Even though she creepily hangs out in dark corners. But that match is actually, like, Megan's one of those people that's asked me, like, Dad, can I get somebody that hits hard? Dad, I want to prove that I can fight. And I'm like, you know what? Cisco's got that dog in him.
Yes.
Like, Cisco is a well-documented, like, amateur wrestler. Well, I don't want to call it amateur, a collegiate wrestler, or however they say it. I don't want to disrespect that sport. So it's like, all right, you want to fight? I'm giving you one of the dogs on the porch that bites. You know, so oh yeah, that's another one that's I felt like it was getting overlooked too. So it's like, what can I add that spice to make it say, oh shit, I need to see that match going on with that match going on.
Yeah, like I said, and for that match to be the first one dropped out of the whole, I got me excited for the event, everything. I was like, holy shit, you get two returners, two wrestlers that are just gonna go at it, like you said. It's
Yep.
just gonna be a brawl between them.
It's gonna be one of those matches like you needed to see, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those times like, let's announce this one first because that's going to be our hook. I mean, the show itself with 2 rings is the hook.
Agreed.
But what's more, I got to put some more bait on there because I just don't want to catch all the minnows. I want to catch the sharks, the whales. You know,
Yeah. I mean, and bringing another guy back, we're gonna get into this match a little bit. The next match, Jason the Gift Kincaid coming back to go one-on-one. One of my favorites, Butchie B, for the Infinity title is on the line.
Kincaid can go.
Oof.
Hey, whoa, Butchie can go.
Yeah.
You know what? This is a match that I wanted because I want to test Butchie. Butchie starting his career, we were actually together. Like he was the prodigy. You know what I mean? And then he kind of, I started seeing him make the mistakes that I made. And I didn't want to humble him, but I had to kind of like, hey, I see a lot of me in you.
Yeah.
Like, you're a better athlete.
Don't do this. Yeah.
Right. Don't do this. Like, let's get straight back on that page. You know, me and him actually got into it. And like my students are allowed to express the way they feel about me, as long as they don't disrespect me, which is very, whatever if they do, but let's not get disrespectful about it because nothing I do is personal, and
yeah,
we all think stuff's personal when we don't get our way sometimes.
Right.
I agree.
But after me and him talk to him, like, man, these are my expectations for you. You don't understand the potential I see in you. And ever since then, this kid has taken off. He is like, even on the other promotions, I'm seeing him wrestle.
I agree.
That guy,
And that's, I'll take that to real quick. I'll take that to RSW. I knew nothing about RSW. I knew they were in Parma a couple months ago, last month. I know nobody from RSW, but I know that Butchie was on the card. Ashton was on the card. So I went and checked it out. And again, didn't disappoint. I wasn't mad at RSW. Had a great time. But wrestlers I know put on a fucking show.
It's once it clicks for them, that's what they do. When they realize that, I don't want to say they're above others, but like once they realize that, like, the things I try to soak in their head and I'm always pounding into them is because I want them all to excel. And now look at Butchie, Infinity champion. I think like he's only had a couple defenses with the title because the mega church has always got something going on.
I know, but he did defend it at the RSW show that I was at. He defended it successfully, so that was cool. I was excited. I was like, oh, because then when he came out, he had the belt, and they said for the Mega Championship Wrestling Infinity Championship, and I was like, oh shit, okay, he's defending it, just all comers. He'll take on somebody from West Virginia. He don't give a shit.
And you know what? That's I gotta give a shout out to Real Shoot on that, because when other promotions allow my guys that I have on roster to defend their titles at their promotion, that means a lot to me. You know what I mean? Like that's a sign of respect. So, much love to Real Shoot. I always wish them well. I know they travel between here and West Virginia.
Yeah, they said they'll be back in. They told us they'll be back in January. They'll be back in January. So that's it. Okay. Last I've heard, they'll be back up here in January to hang out. We're gonna.
I missed the last show. Yeah, I was upset I missed the last show, but I had some things going on because I try to make those shows.
Yeah, it was a good time. I saw a couple. Like I said, Ashton was in the crowd. Ashton picked up a nice win. Butchie picked up a win. Mega represented.
Yeah, I'm proud of him. But this match versus Kincaid, I mean, you saw Alex and Kincaid.
Yes, five-star match in my opinion.
So it's like, all right, Butchie, are you ready for that next level? And this is gonna, he has to win. Like if he loses, he loses.
You
It's
lose
not
your
just
belt. Yeah. This
hey,
isn't just a loss.
I lost, but I had a good lesson. This ain't one of the matches. This is a match. It's like, yo, you gotta beat him.
He's gonna be
Like,
standing over you holding your title.
right. And you know how good Kincaid is. So I'm hoping you're watching every TikTok, every little video you can find of Kincaid, because that dude is just so smooth when he moves.
100%.
I can see why you're saying you want to test Butchie B, and this is an ultimate test for him.
Yep. I want to see if he's ready for that next level.
Well, I got faith in him. I'm not counting him out, but again, this is a match that I'm really excited for because Jason can go. You got to watch out for his manager Sleazy out there. He's just hanging out. Sleazy always seems to get involved in a match somehow, and I don't even think he means to. Alex Daniels got thrown into him as a seat, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, Butchie B defending the Infinity Championship against Jason the Gift Kincaid. I think this match is gonna go. When Butchie fought Alex, everybody said it was a 5-star match.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't there for that. When Michelle told me, Jose told me, they all told me, they were like, this match went so hard. And then I saw Alex versus Jason, and that match went hard. So Butchie versus Jason Kincaid. I mean, I can't expect anything less. I hope that my boy Butchie's able to retain his title. But
shouts out to Michelle for
it's gonna be one of those matches that it's like, okay, did that match really happen? Like with everything else, like it's not getting the hype that it should get.
I agree. There's a couple matches on this card that are like that. If we're being honest,
the War Games matches is like that's it. So
I got massive questions about these games, about these War Games matches.
All right.
We're not gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about this one first. For a long time, I've seen this man as a tag team wrestler. This is, I believe, I could be wrong, his first foray into singles championship competition. He's been picking up wins on Turmoil. El Tic Taco is going one-on-one with LSD, Lemmy Sandemus, for the Fighting Spirit Championship.
Yeah, like you said, Tic Taco has been winning on Turmoil. He was even winning tag matches without Jimmy Jammer and Norm around.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, a couple months ago, we saw dissension start in the Party Posse, and I don't know what's going on.
I don't go to their parties.
Yeah, I'm never invited, so.
Right,
yeah, we don't get
I heard
invited.
a lot of times Norm's mom kicks him out by 9:30 because,
Okay.
And usually I'm in bed by that time anyways. But no, Taco's been impressive.
Taco followed us back on TikTok finally, and ever since then he's been winning matches.
I think I'll give credit to Wilbur Whitlock because he kind of lit a fire under Taco's ass about not following him on the TikTok.
Yeah, he did. That was funny. That was a good little exchange they had back and forth.
That was great.
But yeah, so it's kind of like Lemmy has been a great champion.
100%.
Lemmy's actually been great since day one.
I love Lemmy. He's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite gimmicks. I don't want to say it's a gimmick because it's not. It's Lemmy.
Oh, that's Lemmy.
That's Lemmy.
That's Lemmy.
That's how he is.
But he's like one of the most loved dudes in the locker room too. Like that's Lemmy. The way you see him in the ring, that's not a turned up gimmick. That is Lemmy 24 hours, 7 days.
I will agree with you because, like I said, last week we were at Jamie's Flea Market. I got the chance to sit down with Lemmy and just kind of talk to him. And I'd never gotten that chance before. I had never seen him outside, other than wrestling. I'd never talked to him backstage like I have with, you and stuff like that. When I see you before the show, have a bullshit with you. We were sitting there and he was trick or treat with kids and we got to bullshit and Lemmy likes Star Wars. Like that's my people right there. Like Lemmy's a great dude. And that's not him. He pulled he had a bag of Skittles. Like it's
right.
Lemmy. That's Lemmy. I mean, that's just him. And it was pretty sweet to get a little connection with him. But him and Taco, Taco's on a winning streak. Lemmy he's defended a couple times, past couple events. He has successfully defended.
Been a great champion.
Yeah, he's, and I think he plans on continuing that. He had we all know, well, we've heard the story that Lemmy was in a car accident on the way back from a show a few months ago. And we will be selling tickets for his girlfriend's benefit there at the show on Saturday. It's in Norwalk, I want to say on November 18th.
I believe so as well.
Tickets at the show this Saturday will be 15. The tickets at the door it'll be 20. If you've ever met Lemmy's girlfriend, great person. So I know a lot of the Mega family is going to be there. But he's been dealing with something, so I think he's ready to blow off that steam and let loose.
He's got a lot of pent up frustration, I guess. He's had a lot of life stuff going on, and it's time to get in the ring, bounce off the bottom rope, and do some things.
And Taco's the number one contender, so to me, this is going to be one of the matches. Lemmy's style is so unique. Again,
this is a match that, in my opinion, isn't getting enough hype because it's every other match. And let me just clarify real quick. So in any match, Taco versus Lemmy, they can start in this ring and the match can finish in this one?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so they have to stay in the ring that they're in.
Because to me, that takes away from the whole mystique of having two rings. Like if you can do that with every other match, the matches that can do it on is our main event.
Okay. So those are the two War Games matches.
The two War Games matches and the two matches triple threat is the only match that at any point, if you're in one match, you can go into you end up in the other ring.
All right. Now you said the main event? Is that Bryson and Alex? That's
the main event right there.
So that match can be in either ring. That match can go to either ring or no?
That match, yeah, that's
Okay.
That's,
so four of the matches out of the 9 can go be in either ring. Understood.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm so ready for this show.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna take a quick break. We got more matches to talk about, obviously. And like I said, I got a lot of shit I want to talk to you about these War Games matches. So we're gonna take a quick break and then we'll be right back. And we're back. We got some more matches we're gonna go over, and like I said, I definitely got questions for Brandon about these fucking War Games. Let's go over the last couple singles matches we have. Starting off with these guys have been cutting some amazing promos against each other, just basically talking shit to each other. Colt, I'm sorry. Colt actually showed up on Turmoil as Miles Jacobs. It was probably one of the wildest promos I've ever seen. Colt Johnson one-on-one with Miles Jacobs.
Colt Johnson's got some big balls.
I agree 110%. What is he? I'm not going to say what is he doing because he can win. I'm not counting him out.
I mean, you can't count him out. I mean, you can never count anybody out. But Colt for such a short time in the business is, but taking some pretty big risks. I would take it, but Miles is one of those guys that's coming into his own. Recently we did a NWA dark match.
I mean, Miles is another one that I can say the first time I saw him, I was like, eh. And now he's got, like you said, he's coming into it. He's found it. He's going with it. He's, kept up on his training. He's doing what he's supposed to be. He's putting the work in. And it shows.
Hulkamania's running wild.
Hulkamania. I actually met Miles. He had come to a outside show for Power Slam. And he was just running off at the mouth the whole time. And I'm like, I go to the back, I'm like, who is that dude talking all that shit, man? I was like, he just did it nonstop. And so I kind of was like, when they told me who it was, they're like, oh, this guy. I went and looked at him, and I'm like, all right, this dude, he's good on promos, but I even told him, "So, like, you're a horrible wrestler. Like, you're not horrible, but you got a lot of work to do before you even talk shit to me, my guy."
Yeah.
Um, but then me and him started to have a good conversation, you know. And he started to come up to Mega and train, and then he started to go to Exodus and train. And we always have conversations. So he's one of those dudes who, like, you want to root for success. He's a hardworking dude, even outside of the ring, he's that all-American blue-collar trucker, you know what I mean? Like, getting our food
Yeah,
and
no,
everything
he's
else to us
getting
every
it.
day.
He's out here doing it, and I don't know. I think that's what my biggest conflict of interest is, because Cole, he needs these truckers to get the ice cream.
So the ice cream.
So for him to be talking smack to the trucker, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But he has said that he's gonna take Miles Jacobs out. He's got a win or two on Turmoil, and he's coming in hot. He's
Confidence.
Exactly.
Overall thing is he doesn't have to be better than Miles. He just has to be 3 seconds quicker.
That is true.
Anytime I ever lost a match, I didn't lose a match. The dude just had outsmarted me for 3 seconds.
That's a good way to look at it.
But when you're looking at a dude like Miles, I mean, he's built like a truck. He's a hoss, and like the dude is in the gym.
Oh yeah,
so I know he's got power behind that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, oh, Colt, what are you thinking? Like, you're not even gonna be able to move this man.
He's thinking that he can be better than Miles Jacobs for 3 seconds.
So yeah, I guess so. But
hey, I got faith. I got faith in the Alaskan ice cream mogul. But like you were saying, Honkamania has been running wild lately. Again, this match is going to be one, and it's definitely a test for the young Colt Johnson.
Oh yeah, if you look at the tail of the tape, there's definitely a size differential in there.
Yeah, it's a test for Miles for his continued growth. When he came in as Mr. Too Damn Thick.
I remember, and he had like the purple, like fuzzy stuff, or
right,
green. It was green,
and I thought that was cool too. But since then, the growth that you've seen from making his debut to now, I'd say it's miles on the highway. He's gone trucking.
I mean, I agree. And at Exodus, at NWA, when I saw him there, he's putting in work. He's doing it. Even when we saw him last time at Mega in the 4-way match with Mo, who else was in there? Camacho. That
my boy
he got
Mike
squashed.
Michaels.
Oh, I didn't touch on it. I saw the shirt already. We're gonna get into that a little bit, but yeah, and Mike Michaels in that fatal 4-way match, and Miles held his own. And what my opinion, like he's like you said, he's in the gym doing his thing, but he's about 5'7". He's not that tall. Where Mo, Camacho, Mike Michaels, them are all big guys. Like Miles is like Dean. Like Dean's not that tall, but Dean's a big fella.
But look at guys like Taz.
Agreed. That's true. And I agreed. Taz is one of my favorite wrestlers, so I'll give it to you on that.
I think Miles is the one thing that will hold Miles back right now is I don't want to say he's catering to the fans, but he wants that fan love, that fan support. Because you guys know with me, Mega fans don't like you. I don't like you.
Yeah.
Right.
So that could be he's trying to make sure he's focused on, pleasing the crowd and slip up. And it's one of the things that sounds like, hey man, you go in there, you do them things, let everything be organic. Don't force them to like you, don't force them to hate you, but I think the Mega crowd has really taken to him.
It's the Hulkamania, man. It's running wild.
I gotta tell you, being at NWA and watching 3 of your boys team up and get that victory, the crowd was behind them. And I gotta ask you, seeing that and knowing that, how does that make you feel? Seeing like some of your students and the people that you've helped in one way or another.
I mean, at one point,
Get to that.
I was sitting there and I flipped on YouTube because the dark match was on YouTube on NWA, the pre-show. And that match was on YouTube. At one point, there was, I think, 2.6 thousand people watching. And I was like, there's 2,600 people right now, like, watching this. That's pretty cool, in my opinion.
Nice. I didn't see the match on YouTube, and I watched the pre-show, so I have to go look and see if I can find it. But seeing the pictures and everything, and knowing how hard those three have worked to get where they're at, and I always say, when you come out of Mega, you're coming out the mud. We don't have a fancy facility. We got a little storage locker, that's in the back. If you've ever been to where we train at, okay, yeah, you come back there and you're like, there's no way people learn to wrestle here. Like, you're like,
I passed it up twice because I didn't know. I was like, what the hell? And you got to pull all the way around the back. And yeah,
I pass it up, dude. It's getting dark now, so that means when I go there, it's getting dark earlier. When I go there, I'm gonna pass up the driveway every time.
Yeah.
But so it's to see the guys that started in the mud, and we don't have that fancy facility. We just have disciplined hard work, and see them there. Yeah, it makes me real proud. Because it's like, I know, like, as I tell people, that's part of my legacy.
I like it.
Ohio Chief.
Yeah. That Ohio Chief thing's gonna be some heat, but fuck them.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that too. I got that in my notes here. Next up, though, we got a match that's been cooking for a while on Turmoil. Dio Salvador stole the collection plate from the good one, Pastor CeeLo, and apparently, last I heard, it was thrown in the garbage. I don't think I've seen it. I don't think it's been shown up since then. The only time that Pastor CeeLo has appeared on Turmoil, he was the Green Lantern. So
I heard that he was shaking a cup.
Yeah.
On a show that he was at, trying to get,
money for a new plate.
I mean, let's play it smart with Dios. I mean, Dios came in. I want to say, so I think this is his first singles match on one of the college shows. But he's been in a couple triple threats.
I was say he was in a triple threat with Butchie and Tim the last show.
And he was on another show before that. I can't remember what it was. I'm looking up at my flyers up here, but Dios realized he had to do something because he didn't want to get lost in the shuffle. He didn't want to be just another face that gets booked randomly once in a while. Dios wanted to go to drastic measures to make sure there was somebody in that locker room that wanted to fight him. And I mean, what better way than to take the pastor's tray? We know how he is about that.
I had Dios. I got a chance to sit down with Dios, and he came on the show and talked to me. And at one point, he cut a promo on CeeLo, and I just let him know about himself. And I didn't even have it. I couldn't say anything. I was just like, okay, November 11th, CeeLo better come with some heat because Dios is upset.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not happy the way Dios did it, but I mean, you got to respect it.
Yeah,
he wants his, like you said, he wants to make his name out here.
CeeLo's all over the place.
Yeah, CeeLo's like one of the upcoming guys. I think he just went and did a Sami Callihan seminar the other day. He's sometimes at, like, I know he's been wrestling down at Victory Championship.
We'll be seeing CeeLo. We'll be seeing CeeLo 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
we have CeeLo at Neo Pro on the 18th. He'll be wrestling Hardway Sam Holloway, which is another big test that I'm concerned.
That's a big boy.
That's a big boy.
That's a dude with a bright future.
Yeah. So yeah, this week he's got Dios, which again, no slouch in his own right. I've seen Dios wrestle multiple times.
Holloway is way too fast for that being that big. That boy's quick.
I've seen some clips of that guy. But I hope CeeLo isn't overlooking Dios, because Dios is like one of those guys you can't underestimate.
I've talked to both of them separately. I didn't get a chance to, me and CeeLo was off the record most of the conversation, but I will say that we talked about this. I've specifically asked both of these men for a pile driver in this match. Just saying. Just saying. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I get it. But I'm trying to will one into existence. They're my favorite for obvious reasons. Now, let's get into the bread and butter of this show here. And we're still going to talk about the heavyweight championship match because that's nothing to bat your eyes at. But these War Games matches, let's talk about the one that you're not involved in. First.
All right.
Team Ashton Day versus Cash Inc. On Team Ashton Day, you have Ashton Day, obviously, the Mega Tag Team Champions, the Philly Marino Experience, Sebastian LaShawn, and the up and coming. I mean, everything I hear is everybody. Nobody has anything bad to say about him, and his attitude is always positive on post turmoil. He's super happy all the time. Aaron Holloway is killing it lately. Rounds out Team Ashton Day. Cash Inc. Obviously, Cash Inc. You have Ken, Skylar, Gavin, Chris Onyx, and then they bring in the loudmouth Nick Nero to round out the team. First off, my question is, what happened to Christian Napier?
I knew that was coming. I wish Christian well.
At the last time we saw him, he was Saturday Night Slam. He got upset, and you guys got into it, and he walked away. That was it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish him well. I hope the best for him.
He quits Cash Inc. He's out. All right. No big deal. Now, Nick Nero having this, I guess what it is there's so many storylines inside this match going on at the same time, because obviously at the last show, Aaron and Nick Nero had a fantastic match. Aaron was about this close.
Crazy.
Aaron was about this close. And obviously the last show, Chris Onyx able to pick up a victory over Ashton Day. Gavin and Skylar, former tag team champions, they lost the titles to PME, so there's that. And then Sebastian, if you haven't been paying attention, Sebastian and Ken have been going on, I don't know, little friend dates or whatever to the mall, and then they're at the fountain, and then they're arguing and fighting. So there's a story here, there's a story there, there's different stories everywhere. Now, my first question about these War Games matches: how are we doing this? Is it traditional War Games like Team Ashton, Team Day, and then one comes out, or are we throwing them all at the same time? Or
both matches have different sets of rules.
Okay.
Hey, I like it.
Obviously, I couldn't get 2 cages. I wanted 2 cages so bad. I tried.
I heard. I wasn't going to bring it up. I heard it's hard to find cages that match. It's hard to find cages that match.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't even care if they matched. It was just the fact that to get 2 cages was like, okay, you know what? We're still a local indie wrestling promotion, and I know my budgeting limits.
Yeah.
So to be able to, it was like, all right. Then we were talking about making them, and I'm like, listen, ain't none of us have the time to sit there and put a cage together like that. I was like,
that'll take some time.
Yeah, and I was disappointed by it, so I had to go to the think tank. And I was like, if we don't have cages, they at least have to have separate rules, because why would you, to me, two matches like that to be the same?
Okay. Perfect. All right. So explain the rules for Team Ashton Day versus Team Cash Inc.
All right. Team Ashton Day versus Team Cash Inc. is staggered entrances.
Okay.
Random at that.
Okay.
Coin
flip to determine who goes first or something in the back.
I think on this week on Turmoil, we're gonna at least let the order be known of how it's gonna go down.
All right, perfect.
But at the same time, here's the thing: is you could have 4 members from Cash Inc. with only 1 member from Team Day.
Oh.
Before everybody else gets out of there. Now, there can't be any pinfalls before everybody's out there.
Okay, so the match doesn't officially start until everybody is in the match.
Right, but if you can wear down the team and eliminate people from the match on leaving them on the outside, beat up, beat down,
Okay.
your chances
Yeah.
of winning are gonna, rise. If either Skylar or Gavin pin either Philly or Marino, they're the new tag team champions.
Whoa!
What? Holy shit.
Okay, so Skylar or Gavin, pin Philly or Marino, they're the new tag team champions. Just offer it no matter what happens.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, it is a one pinfall.
I
match.
was gonna ask, so it's not elimination, it's a one pinfall victory. Got it.
One pinfall. So if it comes down to one of those two, Penn and Philly and Marino, you're looking
they win the match for Cash Inc. and also the tag team championships.
Yep.
Wow, that's big stakes there.
It is. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. No pressure for those guys at all. So I think what the other rules for that match were staggered entrances, one pinfall. That might have been the rules for that one. I mean, no DQs, no countouts.
Okay, so that was
War
my
Games.
it's War Games. It has a typical War Games, weapons, everything goes. Anything goes.
Anything goes, This is war. Like,
is that also that's also, I assume, for this other match that's still in a for your match.
That'll be the only two rules that are really the same for the two matches.
Okay.
But when you think of War Games, like, this is a match where, like you said, there's so many storylines tied into this. There's bad blood between all these dudes. And,
yeah.
And Sebastian Kent, like you said, Sebastian Kent. They're friendly.
Oh, yeah.
Philly Marino, Cash Inc., that's been ongoing.
Chris Onyx has been on a tear, winning Brass Knuckles champion, reigning Brass Knuckles champion. Last event defeats Ashton Day. Blew my mind.
This is the rise of Onyx. If you look at it,
hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Beginning of the year, the dude was the bodyguard.
I remember very specifically texting Ken after the show, like, who the fuck is that? Who is that with you? Ken was like, that's my bodyguard, Chris Onyx. That's all I needed to know. And we said Chris Onyx on the show. We let it be known that he was the new bodyguard. Butler Boy was no more. And there was now a bodyguard for Cash Inc. And Chris Onyx has been like this.
Yeah, I mean, like, who would have thought in less than a year he would be like? He seems to he's established himself as the new leader of Cash Inc. And I mean, after he beat Ashton Day, can you deny the dude that? Like, he took out the leader, before.
I agree, and it's one of those where Ken's can't really be the leader. Ken's more of the valet, liaison, mouthpiece, so to speak.
The advisor, yeah.
Yep. Gavin or Skylar, you can't really make one of them the leader. They're the tag team, so I would feel would put dissension between them. So you needed somebody to step up, and for the bodyguard to step up, just absolutely start destroying people on Turmoil, and then to walk into Back to Business and defeat the former mega heavyweight champion. Clean.
I mean, he's cocky. He can come off very brash as an asshole, but man, you can't hate that. You got to respect that. That dude's out here.
He walks the walk as well as talks the talk. I mean, I give it
to 100%. So who's, if he wants to be the, biggest dude on the block, then I think he's been doing what he says, to prove that he is the new big dog on the block. For at least Cash Inc., there's only one big dog. So yeah, that match is going to be nuts because, like I said, that's a lot of bad blood in there.
Yeah.
And there's no love lost at all between either, like you said, Alloway and Nero. I'm
ready to see them go at it again. Like, they're going to be.
How many views did that clip of them?
That is still going.
Is it really?
Yeah. I want to say it had around 600,000 views, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. It's a ridiculous number. We're still getting shares and all that stuff. I get random notifications for it, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about this video, and I'll go look, and I'm like, whoa, how many views, how many shares? I don't know how that happened, how that blew up like that did, but I'm grateful for it.
Oh, for sure. That was wild. I gotta ask you before we move on to the final one. Sebastian LaShawn seems to be thinking about running for president.
I don't know what Sebastian's doing. When it comes to Sebastian, I don't question anything.
The only one person that knows what Sebastian's doing is Sebastian.
You know what? You can go to mega church, ask what Sebastian's doing. They'll be like, I have no idea.
Would you vote for Sebastian
for president?
I mean,
that's a maybe. That's a maybe.
Just because I support Sebastian, I would vote for Sebastian.
I mean,
can things get much worse? So, I mean, may as well. You never know what's gonna happen.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
All right. Now let's talk about your match. War Games. This has been a long time coming.
Oh.
Team Tim versus Team Xavier. Let me tell the Team Tim consists of Tim, Mike Michaels, Riker, Tessin Gates, Cisco Sucio, and Brazzi Suave. That's my boy. Hey, he's got balls of steel. That's my boy. He's crazy as shit. Your team consists of you, Big Mo, Tyreek Kalam, Paxton Calloway, Nick Barney, and Gregory Iron. First off, kudos on a fucking team, sir, because that's a hell of a fucking team.
Right, that's a lot of meat on that team.
A lot of meat.
But
it'll be.
I'm concerned. I don't want to count out Team Tim right away, but on paper, Tim picked a lot of rookies, the trainees that he trains on a regular basis, and me and Brazzi talked about this at the flea market. And he's got faith in his boys, and they're coming into this because they're hungry. And I mean, Brazzi, we know is hungry. He's come out and he's challenged the likes of Big Mo and Paxton, and he's gotten destroyed by these men. But he's still going. He keeps getting up. He's got that dog in him.
He's got something.
It might be a Chihuahua, but he's got that dog in him.
He's got that dog in him. And I haven't announced this yet, is they're actually going to have a seventh. I'm going to let all of Chambia be in the match.
Oh, so Louis Giovanni will be in the match as well.
Louis Giovanni will be in the match. So I will give Tim that advantage.
Okay, so it's going to be 7-on-6.
7-on-6.
Okay, now how are the entrances coming for this match? Is this all you guys just brawl the fuck out, or?
All right, so this will be 2 entrances, both teams.
Okay.
Elimination.
Okay, so everybody's team comes out at the same time, basically tag match. I'll say 10-man tag team match, like that kind of deal.
Tornado tag, if you want to say that.
But there you go. Everybody in the ring all at the same time.
Now there will be multiple referees.
Okay. Congratulations on the new referee. Congrats to Mars. She's the new mega referee I saw. That's pretty cool.
Nick Barney's moving up to senior referee. So
congrats to Nick as well. Yeah, I saw that.
So these matches we're all coming out at once. 2 teams. Elimination. But here's the thing is, if either me or Tim get pinned, match is over.
Okay, so that's like Death Cup. That's like Death Cup and beer pong. If you pin Brandon, match is over. And so I hate to do this to you. Brazzi Suave could pin Brandon Xavier and win the match for Team Tim. It could happen.
There's always that point, could never happen chance.
It
that
can
does
happen.
happen.
Okay.
You know,
How about the man on your shirt as well?
Yeah, Mike Michaels. Let's talk.
Mike Michaels, that's my boy.
I
Mike Michaels, ring-a-ling-a-ling, a cowbell ass motherfucker. You know, when I look at Tim's team, and I realize like these are all guys that feel slighted, neglected. You know, daddy didn't show them enough love. You know, you look at my team like Gregory Iron, Big Mo, Tyreek, Big Daddy Pax.
what a match that was on Turmoil.
I'm missing one of my teammates. Hold on. Nick.
Yeah,
Duh.
I'll say you got Nick.
I'm thinking of all these big guys that are on my team. Those are dudes who have rode with me and ride with, you know, been A1s since day ones.
And
So,
I think one of my favorite things, you know, I didn't mean to cut you off, but one of my favorite things from your team was the reunion, so to speak, of the Reject Academy a little bit, because the old school fan of me that was remembers the Reject Academy, and Tyreek and Big Mo kind of shaking hands like, we can squash this real quick, you know. And
yeah, and you notice how
cool.
Professor hasn't said anything to Mo, but he's all about, kind of tells you, you know, he fears Mo. But when I look at that team over there, you never know what's going to happen. I'm not discounting those guys. I mean, they're stepping in the ring with the big dogs Omega. Like, so what better way to make a name for yourself? You know what I mean?
I don't disagree with it at all. I don't disagree with it. This match is, again, like you said, going to be full of chaos. There's going to be weapons galore. There's going to be, I'm going to go with multiple tables for the night. I don't know. I'm just assuming, but yeah, this is going to be mayhem.
It's going to be violent.
It's going to be violent.
You know, like when I sit here and think, like, I'm still trying to figure out why Tim wanted this match. What does Tim get from this? You know what I mean? Like, if you guys think about it, like, I don't wrestle anymore. Like, I have been more than, like, I'm not even going to have wrestling gear on because I don't know where my wrestling gear is. I don't wrestle. Yeah. I know where my dress pants are. I know where my tie's at. I know where my dress shirt's at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, last year when I wrestled Mike Michaels, I was done. I was happy. I was fine with it. Like, all year I've been asked to wrestle. I've turned down multiple offers to wrestle. I'm like, I don't want to do it. I have fun promoting. Like, you know, I have other things that I want to focus on. Like, to me wrestling is just taking a spot from somebody else. Yeah. But Tim just wouldn't let this go. And
he's been calling you out for over a year.
And I don't get why. Like, what do you get by beating the dude, you know, that doesn't want to wrestle? Congratulations, you beat the old man. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say it for him. Like, you beat the guy who doesn't wrestle. End of the day, what changes? Nothing. You know,
he's got something to prove. He to himself, maybe. It's,
you know, personally, I think this is what it is I brought Tim in to be the head trainer, but he thinks he has to show that he's an alpha. You know, he has to show that he's now the guy. But no matter what, I will be the guy. Like, and that's not, that can come off cocky as it wants to be.
You're the Ohio chief.
I'm the Ohio chief. Yeah, like, you know, I brought Tim here to help, and he kept telling me this cost. Well, he's about to get a rebate check because I ain't paying shit. You know, like, I'll pay him his.
It ain't even tax time.
Right. I'll pay him his salary that's on paper that, you know, for hiring him. But he's mad about what? The fact that he's gotten to wrestle guys like Trey Miguel, like Jason Kincaid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's got shots at the Infinity Championships.
Ain't my fault when it comes time to big dog, you kind of skimper and whimper away. You know, you guess you wanted to manifest an ass whooping because that's what he's going to get on Saturday. You know,
I-
and
man,
like
I can't wait. I can't wait for Saturday.
Tim has tried to play these mind games, and it's like, you know, he's done the same tactics everybody's done. You
That's
know,
exactly what I was going to say before you said it. I was going to say he's tried stuff that everybody's tried with you before. It's nothing, you know, again, first of all, you've been doing this for a while. It's nothing you haven't seen before. And in my opinion, some of the more heinous shit he said, people have already said that to you. It's not like it's the first time
Right.
you've heard it. So,
you know, like Eminem said at 8 Mile, hey, meathead, you're saying the same shit he said.
yeah.
You know, like I've already dealt with all that. Like there's nothing that you can do to me mentally. Like I've lost my mind already. So there's nothing you can do that makes me get into it. Yeah, you can say some shit that might piss me off. You know, and here's my thing is I didn't say much on Turmoil because I was just letting him run his mouth. Finally last week it's like, oh, let me just shut him up for once. You know, once again, still as I walk away, he's always got something smart to say. He thinks everything's a joke. You know.
He
So it's
does
like
he does always have a smirk after he's got that little smirk afterwards. And
that
again,
little smirk.
I've seen him do some crazy shit. So I'm not he's training, and Brazzi said in this interview at Jamie's Flea Market, I don't know if you went and watched, you have to go check it out. He said, we got some stuff, that obviously is head trainer that he's been teaching him when you're not around and stuff, trying to
I
get him
mean,
to
that's
work that
fine.
Tim magic.
But did Brazzi actually shut up long enough to learn it? You know what I mean? It's like, so far Brazzi's been all talk and no walk. All right, like
he's trying to walk, but he gets picked up and thrown around a lot.
Well, I mean, I got a 7-month-old baby that's crawling better than him right now. All right, so it's.
No.
I'm just saying, like, he should have stayed in his lane. You know, he was doing good as the little mascot. You know, it's,
and like you said, it's gonna be nice to be able to see Chambea. You're gonna give the whole group is gonna be in there. The advantage. I mean, there's no reason that this shouldn't work out in their favor, right?
Yep.
So 7-on-6. It's gonna be mayhem. We still got one more match we're gonna talk about, and we got a top 5 for you, Brandon. We're gonna take our last break real quick, and we'll be right back. And we're back with Brandon Xavier from Mega Championship Wrestling this Saturday. One more battle, 2 Ring Kaoz, live at Lorain County Community College. And we got one more match left to talk about. That mega heavyweight title is on the line. The champion, Illyria's own Bryson Teller, defending against the man who never lost his title. That's what I've heard. I'm going to get some backstory from you here. But Alex Daniels, who, again, we were talking about earlier, he's put on multiple, in my opinion, 5-star matches over the past couple months.
Phenomenal.
Before he had injured himself recently. He's come off that injury. He's ready to go. But before he had injured, he had won the Power Slam Pro Heavyweight Championship. He's on a tear. Alex is a machine. So first off, tell me a little bit about how this whole came about. He never lost his title, but lost his title.
I want to say, when Alex won it, it was way back in the day, so a little bit cloudy on it. I think what happened, it was just a conflict of schedules. Because when Alex started, he was hot off the rip, but he got he blew up a lot quicker than was expected.
Okay.
And so the places that were wanting him, and I've always been the type of, hey, if it's going to give you a bigger opportunity, I'm not going to be mad. It's the number one thing about me. I've never gotten mad that guys and, the ladies have missed shows because they had a bigger opportunity. And that's what was happening for them. So I was like, hey, with your schedule right now, you're not gonna be able to make the next 4 or 5 shows. So
we kind of need a heavyweight champion.
Right.
You're going to have to vacate that kind of deal.
You know, so it's kind of like, yeah, it sucked because he had to vacate it, but at the
Okay.
same time, what he was doing, you know, and where we were at the time, I was like, go, do what
Yeah.
you have to do, you know,
This
because
is gonna shoot you up here. We're still kind of going this way right now.
right,
Like
you know,
gotcha.
and that's all. Like I said, it's always been a big thing with me. If there's a chance for them to do something bigger to make their career, I've never been like, oh, well, that's bull, you know, mega first time. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
like
All
I
right.
don't
So
want
it
people to
wasn't
be
like due
stay
to
around.
injury or anything like that. It was just his schedule was too hectic. He won the title fair and square
Yep.
schedule.
Well,
Couldn't
I don't know if
you
he
know?
wanted fair and square back then.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know back then.
He, he did
Oh,
have a manager, and they did, you know, nefarious means.
But this
I don't know.
weekend, he finally gets his shot, and in my opinion, very well deserved. He's won a bunch of great matches. He's put on some great shows, for everybody. But at the last event, Bryson defends, wins his match, and Alex shows up and they have a nice little stare off. That was I kind of got it made me excited about. He was a number one contender, and
Um,
I'll never count out Bryson ever because Bryson's a machine. I've seen him ever since I started with Mega when he was fighting Spirit Champion.
right?
Yeah.
Definitely a machine.
He's got that dog in him.
I feel like even as champion, he's underrated and
I agree.
overlooked.
I agree.
Because he's probably hands down one of the top 10 wrestlers in Ohio. So those that are just like, oh, Alex is coming back, Alex is getting it. Look who Bryson has beaten.
Yeah.
I mean, he beat Madman Fulton.
Yep. Go ahead. I was gonna say you're gonna start naming him. I thought Derek Dillinger was gonna come after Saturday Night Lights when Derek Dillinger, after he pile drived him in the ring, that was
And then even before he was the mega champion, he won the Mega Cup when he beat Paxton Calloway.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like the
True.
biggest dude on the block, like, the most imposing figure in Mega, he's beaten. And Bryson's battled back from so much adversity.
Look how he championship too.
When we came back from COVID, the very first show, he snapped his ankle.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
That was back in 21, I think. When we were back in business. He was in a match. I think it was either a 4 or 5 way for the Fighting Spirit title, and he broke his ankle during the match and still won the match. You know what I mean? So
that
it's like
Fighting Spirit, he deserved that title.
Like you pretty much are gonna have to kill Bryson to take away that title from him.
For real. No idea that even.
Like Alex he's been undefeated since he's come back. And he's put on good matches. But it's like, has he been watching Bryson? Has he been paying attention? Bryson, another one. Look where he was at. What was that last week? NWA.
Yep. He was a part of the dark match. Him and Ashton and Miles Jacobs.
Bryson was one who he doesn't do the big yelling. He doesn't do the big barking.
I agree with that statement. His bite is definitely worse than his bark.
Right.
The old rule is you gotta watch out for the ones that are quiet.
Yep. The quietest dude in the room is the most scariest. That's the dude you have no idea what's going on in their mind. So like just for me to see 2 of my top guys that I trained going at it once again, and that's so hard for me to say because I have so many top people that I've trained, you know what I mean? Like, so this is one I'm just going to sit back and let,
Oh yeah. I'm really excited for this one. This one's going to be another 5, as they like to say, it's a 5-star match in my opinion. That's the ratings. Everybody's rating their matches, and if a match goes 5 stars, this is another one that has potential to be a 5-star match. You've stacked the cards. 9. Oh, how many on the card have the potential to be 5-star matches?
Every one of them.
Shit, every one of them, if we're being honest. But like Jason and Butchie, Dios and CeeLo, I could see going real hard. Actually, this crazy match that Brandon has invented with the double normal style into a triple threat. It sounds amazing and could be a phenomenal match because all of the people in it are really good. And then I mean, obviously the War Games matches. It's gonna be a great guy. I'm so excited.
Before we get into this top 10, if anyone from Team Tim or Tim himself is listening to this, do you have anything you have to say to Team Tim before we head into Saturday?
Yeah, fuck them. I mean, like
mic drop on them. That's it.
They could have easily came to me and asked for opportunities and, made themselves notice this other way, but this is the way this team wants to get noticed.
This is the way. Real quick, I want to talk. I meant to mention this earlier. We haven't seen Riker in a while. For him to just show back up he's like the wild card on that team, in my opinion.
Riker's a maniac.
Exactly. So like, we haven't seen him in a while. Last time I seen him and Kalam just fought all over the arena. So he's the only one that like scares me because I don't know what he's gonna do.
I don't even think Riker knows what he's gonna do.
Okay. So
it's when we signed him, I tried to have a conversation with him. Well, let me rephrase that.
He just kind of grunted at you.
Professor brought him in. Sometimes Jeff signs contracts that I'm like, why did you do that? I never approved it. And he's just trying to do the right thing. And he's like, look at this guy. And I'm like, have you talked to him? Riker doesn't say much. He just, he's very imposing, very intimidating.
Yeah.
The dude is built solid. Like out of all the people on Tim's team, that's the one I'm going to try to avoid.
Okay.
It's still fuck him, but
it's still fuck him, but
right.
Fuck him last. Like
right. He's the last one that gets fucked.
All right.
But yeah, that's the one dude that
he's the wild card. Like I said, he's the wild card in that team. In my
he's
opinion.
the one who I think if there's a guy that could take out my team.
Do you know who the wild card? You know who my wild card is for your team? Nick. I got so much faith that Nick's just gonna go ape shit on fucking Tim. It's gonna be crazy.
I think Tim's or Nick's finally when he gets his hands on, because
he actually can do something about it now.
He's more mad about everything than I am. You know what I mean? Like, it's like what I said with Tim, I get it. He wants to prove something. I don't know what it really is he's going to prove, but hey, if he's got it in his head that he has to do this, or he wanted to convince me to do this to prove this point, well, I mean, I'll just keep on proving the points I have. That no matter what, I'm still going to whoop your ass. Like, it's just who I am.
Well, I'm going to shout it out one last time. This Saturday, Mega Championship Wrestling presents one more battle to Ring Kaoz, live from Lorain County Community College. Doors are at 4:30. Bell time's at 5. It's going to be a great show, man. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's going to be hectic and crazy that day.
It's going to be hectic and crazy that day. I'll be there early with the kid. I told Papa Jeff I'm coming early. He said okay, so I'm bringing the kid with me. We're coming early to help set up stuff.
I'll be there too.
I'll be there. We got 2 rings to put up. Need all the hands.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll be there to help set stuff up. But we have a top 5 for you in the spirit of the event, in the spirit of War Games. I want your top 5. We just build your own War Games team. We're gonna go snake style. It can be past, present, future, any wrestler you want.
It can be alive, it can be no longer with us.
Yep. Any 5 your ultimate War Games team.
Imagine like steel cage elimination style if you had to pick a ultimate team.
Who would you put on that team?
Eddie Guerrero.
Okay.
Scott Hall, but Razor Ramon.
Okay.
Razor Ramon, not Scott Hall was great, but Razor Ramon was my dude.
Hey, yo.
So is it like 3 others besides me too? Because I got to be that
Yep.
third person. I got to be
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You don't got
No, I was saying unless you want to be the manager, you can pick a team of 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just manage these guys. You know,
Yeah. You pick a team of 5.
Man, that's kind of
It's rough, right?
yeah. Dusty Rhodes.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, since we got the cage, I'm gonna go with my boy Wesley.
That's a good one.
Oh man,
To round the team out.
round the team out. You know what? I'll pull it up to now. I would take Solo Sakai.
Ooh. He demolished John Cena at Crown Jewel. Just destroyed
You
him.
know, I was working and I missed it, so I gotta go back.
It was pretty solid. It was pretty solid. We earlier in the show before we had you on, I made sure to give Logan Paul flowers because it looked like he saved Rey Mysterio's life on a moonsault. Like Rey Mysterio bounced funny. I don't know who's, but he looked like he was about this close from his head, and Logan Paul kind of jumped down and caught him.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I've done that. I've been on the Rey Mysterio end, and the dude didn't catch me, and I landed on my neck.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, yeah, it was
yeah.
against a dude named
Logan
Johnny.
Paul caught him, and and like I said earlier, in the span of his short-lived WWE career, he's been kind of impressive, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've seen the things where people were like, "Oh, well, he wasn't where he was supposed to be." I'm like, unless you're in that ring, you don't know where you're supposed to be. Shut up.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter if he was there or not. He still saved the dude from breaking his neck.
Yeah.
All
right, Dean.
Mine?
Your War Games team to go against Brandon's team and my team. It's a triple threat War Games here.
Stone
make
Cold.
some rules for that.
I knew that was your first pick. I knew
Stone
that was
Cold
your first. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
RVD. Ming or Haku.
Oh,
Fucking Tongan death grip.
I'm definitely just managing.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
That's always been one of Dean's favorites.
Vader.
Ooh, Dean got some meat.
Damn, he went with the meat.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go. Dean already knows who my first 2. I'm going with my favorite of all time, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. The best in the world, CM Punk. I'm gonna take the recently departed Bray Wyatt. Mick Foley.
Okay. Which Foley though? You getting Cactus Jack? You getting Dude Love?
No, I want Mrs. Foley's baby boy. I want WWE champion Mick Foley.
Okay.
And that last one's tough. I'm gonna go hardcore. I'm gonna take. We spoke about him earlier. I said he was one of my favorites. I might as well put him on this team. The Human Suplex Machine, Taz.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
So,
yeah, I think I'll manage.
yeah, we can argue on the outside of the ring. We can just hang out. We can just hang out and watch.
You guys are doing great.
All right, good job, guys. Oh man,
Hell
you
yeah,
guys
great
got me
teams,
on
guys.
five
Great
here.
team. Great teams. Well, like I said, this Saturday, one more battle to Ring Kaoz. Brandon, thank you for taking some time out and talking shit with us all night. We appreciate it every time, man.
Always a pleasure.
We will see you this Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Make sure to follow.
Go get them now, otherwise you're missing out.
Yep, front row is sold out. General
Almost
admission.
100 pre-sale.
I was gonna say general admission. There might be a couple available. It's selling. It's going. So we'll be stacked in there. Come hang out with us. Make sure to follow Believe Land Media, all of our sponsors, all of our other podcasts, Guardians of the CLE, Brown Orange Weekly, Double Play CLE. We'll see you next time.
Hey.